So we come over to the control board. First thing we need to do obviously is to make sure that we have our remote programmed to the board. So we push this button here, wait till the blue light comes on, and then push one of the buttons on the remote. So I've just missed that, I'll try it again. The blue light's on, push the remote, you can see it flashing a couple of times. LED 5 comes on, then they both go out. The next thing we need to do is check all the settings on the top of the dip switches. Now when we program, the only settings we're going to be worried about are going to be this setting here, which is a selection for dual gate and single gate. At the moment it's set up for double gate. The only other settings we really need to consider are 2 and 3 here. At the moment they're set for the lowest amperage, and we usually start off from the lower amperage and then basically work our way up. So the next thing to do is to press this button here. Now you'll see that we have LED 1 flashing momentarily. Hold that for 5 seconds. You see LED 1 has just come on, it's gone solid, and now it's flashing once a second. We push the button on the remote and that starts the programming process. So you'll see we have a leaf closing over here. And while they move slowly during programming mode, they do move a lot faster when they're fully programmed. So we have the slave shutting, then the master's going to shut. The master's going to open, the slave's going to open, and then they're both going to shut. And while that's carrying on, we come back to the control board and have a look at LED 1. We'll find it's quietly clicking away. If for any reason LED 1 goes solid, it generally means that we either haven't got enough current or we've got too much current being drawn. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to depower the board, which I'll show you how to do in a second, and readjust the overcurrent settings at the top of the board and repower and go back into the learning process. But we'll come back to the gates moving. Now both gates will shut, and once they shut, it's been through programming mode, and we can then start operating it directly off the remote. Just remember, this is for double gate. Single gate, you just have the same thing's going to happen. All you have to do is select for the single gate rather than the double gate, which is switch number 2, dip switch number 8 in the off position. Right, so the gates have now been through their full learning process. That LED 1 is going to be flashing twice a second, which you can see it doing, and we're now able to push the button on the remote and the gates will actually activate. And you also notice that they're a lot faster now that they've been through the learning process. Now, as I said before, if for any reason the LED 1 goes on solid, we will have to adjust these 2 dip switches up here. These are 2 and 3. Follow the manual, but to adjust them, what we need to do is we need to power the board down. And we do this typically by taking one of these leads out, and I'm just waiting for the gates to close properly, and then I'm going to do that. So now the gates are closed. What we do is we take this out. Now you will have a slightly different plug. The principle is exactly the same. Just lift the entire plug off. Then make a modification to the setting. Now in this particular case we'll adjust 2 up. probably more easily done with a small screwdriver. That will take the current setting up. Now you'll just have to refer to the manual. What you need to do is to take it up sequentially, so from 2 amps to 3 amps to 4 amps, etc. Then what we do is we plug the power back into the board. So we've got the LED flashing again, and we come over here and we re-release the keys to reopen the gate.